Okay.
All right, so as the headline suggests, I will be talking about journaling. But before we get into that fun, I'm going to start off with some vocabulary that I'm going to use a little bit throughout this presentation. One of them being forefront, the most noticeable or important position. Next one, formulate, to create or prepare something methodically. Encyclopedia, a set of articles that deal with all and a particular part of human knowledge. And coherent, something logical and or consistent. But my definitions don't quite end there. I'm going to define to you what journaling is, or more specifically, what a journal is. It's a personal record of occurrences, experiences, and reflections kept on a regular basis. So the act of journaling is to write down said occurrences, experiences, and reflections on a daily basis, maybe known to most of you as a diary. Now you might be asking yourself, why would I do such a childish thing as to keep a diary? An encyclopedia entry at the University of Rochester might give you the answer. They wrote, if you struggle with stress, depression, or anxiety, keeping a journal might just be a good idea. And at the end, and as this is the end of another school year, I'm sure most of us are feeling some kind of stress. So, the psychological reasoning behind the fact that journaling can reduce stress, manage anxiety and depression, is that it helps you control emotions and symptoms by 1. Helping you prioritize your problems, fears, and concerns. By focusing and trying to formulate what you're feeling into coherent sentences and thoughts, you're bringing the problem to the forefront of your mind. You recognize them and can therefore learn to see the importance of taking care of yourself, no longer hiding behind the wall you have potentially set up for yourself. 2. Tracking any symptoms day to day so that you can recognize triggers and learning ways to better control them. By writing everything down, you have some sort of reference you can look back on to see what situations and maybe people could be toxic or unhealthy to you. It gives you a pattern to look at and analyze. And lastly, 3, providing an opportunity for self-talk and identifying negative thoughts and behaviors. Though this is something you would actually have to actively do and that might not naturally come to us, it's still a very important step. A lot of the time when people write journals, they have one section where they just spill emotions, feelings, and thoughts, and then another section where they have one or more questions to answer at the end. Usually, one of those questions could be to write something positive about the day, even if it's something really small, like I got a fresh haircut and now I feel excited. Or even something super simple, like I was just in an okay mood today. If you experience that you're often in a bad mood, it's important to highlight those days that you are not. When someone is constantly in a slump, all days and emotions bleed together. And because at that point the brain likes to only focus at the bad, it could overshadow whatever good there potentially was the week. So writing it down can help you remember. Rochester University was also kind enough to give us some instructions on how you could potentially write your journal. 1, try to write something every day. Set aside a few minutes to write something. This could help you make it into a daily habit. 2, make it easy. Keep a pen and paper on you handy at all times. So when you want to write something down, you can. Or you could do it on your phone if you prefer that. 3, write whatever feels right. Your journal does not need to follow a certain structure. It's your own private space to discuss whatever you want. Let the words flow freely. Don't worry about spelling mistakes or what other people could think you're writing about or what you're thinking. 4, use your journal as you see fit. Despite everything else I've said, your journal is your own space. You don't have to share it with anyone. And if you do want to share some of your thoughts with trusted friends and or loved ones, you could just show them parts. And well, what was my experience since I have done this for maybe 2-3 weeks now? I had always been fairly interested in journaling, and I had previously on multiple accounts tried to do it, but failed after a certain amount of time. As with all habits, it takes time to get into some sort of rhythm. The first week you might be all excited, like, yes, this is awesome, I'm gonna do it and be really productive. Then comes the thoughts of, I'll do it tomorrow, it's fine, I don't need to do it now. And with that, the habit dies. So it could definitely be hard in the beginning. And well, for me personally, I'm the type of person that can really get stuck in my own head about certain thoughts and feelings, and even maybe repeat the exact same sentence in my head over and over. In those moments, I would take a minute's break from whatever I was doing and just write down that sentence or whatever I was feeling and just blabbering on whatever was coming to my mind first. And by the end of that session, I would feel like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I could finally transfer all of the emotions from my head down on paper, close the book, and move on. I was now done with those feelings. I could resume to whatever I was doing. So, if you're the type of person that can struggle with feelings of depression, stress, and or anxiety, I could definitely recommend to you to try at least journaling. It could definitely do wonders too. Thank you.